The health is good.
It's time for Dart Talk. Brought to you by thedartzone.com. Stay in the zone. Thedartzone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and Windy City Fabricators, America's premier fabricators of orthotics and prosthetics. And Redwood Darts, America's newest tungsten darts. Stand straight and tall and hit them all. Redwood Darts. And now, here are your hosts, Mystery Mark and Steve P.
Okay, welcome to Dart Talk.
Hello, hello.
We're back. Maybe we should record the audio. What do you think?
Oh, hey, why don't you record the audio?
Anyway, welcome to Dart Talk, March 4th.
March 4th?
2014. Good day to everybody. Thanks for tuning in on tunein.com, stitcher.com, iTunes. Darttalk.us is our website, and we're also on YouTube.
We are.
Dart Talk US is our channel. Dart Talk brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks, Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, good.
I'm struggling.
You're hanging in there.
I'm hanging in there.
But you're struggling.
I had to tough it out last night. Last night was rough. But
well, yeah, you hadn't played in a good 2 weeks, right?
I actually 16 days.
Yeah, and then you threw 6 practice darts and quit.
Well, the second one was a ton 80. I didn't take a picture of it, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm all set. And then I show up for league on Tuesday night, and I had the worst warm-up session of my life.
I walk in about a half hour later than I intended.
I could not believe how badly I
But
threw.
I got there about a half hour before the league started, and I walk in, and you just say, this is the worst warm-up session I've ever had in my life.
I'm sticking with that story. It was horrendously bad, and I was just like, wow. And nothing felt right. You know, I'm a field player. I mean, I know we talk technical stuff, and we've done a lot of analysis of this and that on the show over the years. But I've always been a field player, and when you're a field player and you have no feel, that is not a
does not make
comfortable
for a good
feeling.
night.
No, it really doesn't. I guess I managed to win my singles somehow. I don't know if the other guy just played a little worse than me or what. I mean, it was a weird game.
Yeah,
it was just weird. So get this. I'm playing this guy, and my hand starts cramping.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's related to the forearm being so tight that now my hand is cramping. I have no idea what was happening. I started guzzling water and shaking my hand.
I don't know. I used to get that all the time.
Yeah?
When I was working construction.
Get hand cramps.
Yeah. During darts.
Oh, yeah?
Like, literally, the whole inside of my hand would scrunch in like that. It was excruciating. I mean, it literally would look like this, and my hand would just, and then to try and
never
throw
happened
a dart,
before to me.
Oh,
I just literally, and I'm kind of like, I get the dart in my hand, and I could feel it cramping, and I'm like, well, just let go of it. And I actually threw a ton 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk up, and the chalker had no idea what was going on, because he's looking at the board. I'm like, that's the best ton 40 I've thrown in my life.
I didn't know what was going on, and I heard you say that, and I was like, why was that any? At the time, my first thought was, why was that any different than any other?
Because my hand was cramping, and I'm like, I just had just enough to, it was really weird. It was really weird.
No,
I guess I got dehydrated.
You played well in the singles. You didn't play well in anything else.
Oh no, I played horrible. I benched myself for a while. Didn't really matter. But
nobody really played well.
Well, you did.
But, yeah.
See, and I actually put that. I put that on the thing that Mark's improving ! Because you looked like the Mark I'm used to seeing, and it's been every week you've gotten better, and now we have 2 weeks off.
I know.
So I told I'm like, here comes regression. So we'll talk. We'll come back.
We'll see what happens.
We're not going to have a show next week because I'm going to be en route to, one of my favorite tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love going to Virginia Beach.
We did the same thing last year. Last year we took the week off because you went to Virginia Beach and then spent some time in Virginia, and then went to the other tournament. So we missed the show last year. So it's basically the same.
Yeah, and it's we're already trying to maybe we could stop here and break up the drive and stay overnight somewhere. So it's kind of a semi-vacation. But we will preview the cricket championship at Virginia Beach. We've got the seeds for the men and the women: 32 men, 16 women. We have results. We'll update everybody on the Premier League. I think I got you by one last week again. Also, we have results from the World Trophy. Dave Cameron and Jeff Smith from Canada and Jimmy Witt from the U.S. played over there. It's kind of an invitation-only event. It's small field. Like, I don't like tournaments where they're not open. You know what I mean? I think tournaments should be anybody can show up with 3 darts and make some magic happen and win. I think those are the events that really are the ones to participate in. As far as watching, I mean, I like the Premier League. I mean, these invitation-only tournaments strike me kind of as an exhibition maybe. If they're going to televise them or whatever, okay, so let's watch these guys play. I just think it's sort of not so much playing favorites. I think it's good for the players to have these opportunities. I just think, like, as we're like, reporters covering this stuff, I can't put it in my head. I can't give it the same credence an open event has. That's kind of why, the ADO Nationals, I'm kind of like, wow, there's 30 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the rest of the tournaments
events like the Premier League are completely different, though, because that gives you just top-notch darts to watch on TV. I mean, as opposed to it's not the biggest tournament of the year for these people.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess with the Premier League, I would prefer that they set some sort of, we're going to take the top 10 on the money list, and then whoever's the top 10 goes. I mean, they're kind of like, because I wanted to see Bunting in this thing, although apparently, he's gassed.
He doesn't want to be there.
It seems to me like when you start going back-to-back weeks where, your doubles average is like 15%, I'd worry. My doubles were ever 15%. I don't think I would have ever kept playing.
So there's a question for you, though. You mentioned Virginia Beach as one of your favorites.
Yeah, Nashville.
They're asking which is your favorite venue and why.
My favorite venue? I like Virginia Beach.
Of major tournaments,
so
to speak.
I really like going down to Nashville. I really like going down to Huntsville, and I really like going to Virginia Beach. Those are now like the 3 tournaments I won't miss. The people are really nice. The hotels are fine. The hotel we stayed at in Huntsville was fine. No jacuzzi. And the same with the Millennium Hotel in Nashville. Great place, but no jacuzzi. The weather in Nashville is nicer because Nashville's in July. You get some outdoor stuff. Virginia Beach, the only thing is the weather's kind of iffy.
Right.
It's been cold. You
might get a good spot of weather this weekend.
Well, it's weird because they moved the week, and then the last couple of years it looked like the week before we got there it was in the 70s, which would be awesome, right? And then the week we get there it's back in the 40s. But apparently, this week they're going to get bad weather. So maybe we'll find the sweet spot. We'll get lucky on that. I don't know. We still haven't decided which way we're going to go because, the last couple of years, because of the weather, we've gone straight south to Louisville and hung a left instead of taking 80 and going through Pennsylvania, and then you come down through Northern Virginia and stuff. So we'll have to see. No, but the Virginia Beach, the great thing about Virginia Beach is they have the big cricket championship on Friday. And it's the kind of event that all the tournament players say they want, right? It's seeded. Anybody can get in. Anybody can qualify. And, it's a decent payout. I was talking about like the ADO Nationals and stuff. I mean, they get, 30 people to play in the Nationals, but then the next day there's a BDO ranked event with a couple of hundred. I mean, that's the event.
Yeah, right.
That's the event. I mean, and then you look at the payouts, like the ADO Cricket Championship, the winner gets like, I don't know, $800, $600, something like that. This one pays a couple of grand. Now you tell me which one's more worth winning.
Yeah.
So and then we'll have to kind of talk about the seeding. I don't know what system they're using, but
for
me to be seated, seated at all, I'm shocked. To
we'll
be
cover
seated
that
10th,
when we get to,
you gotta be kidding me.
When we get to our predictions.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some research on that. I'm just grateful to be able to play at this point. So,
let me run a little
the disclaimer, and then we're going to talk about we have to do this pay league structure thing. We put it off for a month.
The views, opinions, rants, and rampages expressed on Dart Talk do not necessarily reflect individually or collectively those of our sponsors, co-sponsors, wannabe hosts, hearing-impaired critics, or those with a penchant for attitudinal dysfunction. We at Dart Talk strive to provide you, the listener, with an educational, entertaining, and fun-filled experience each and every week. If after the show you, the listener, find yourself feeling uneducated, unentertained, and or bored, we at Dart Talk consider that your own problem.
Okay, thanks for that, Aaron. By the way, the background is Sunset, Virginia Beach, in case anybody was wondering what that little spot was. That was cool. We went to Hawaii.
That little spot or that little spot up there?
Yeah. See, I'm going to fixate on that.
I know.
That was kind of cool. That when we were in Hawaii, we were at that restaurant, and then everybody's outside the restaurant, the beach house, watching the sunset, and then there's applause, and everybody goes back.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. I like that.
All right. So
I got Hawaii on the brain.
Pay structure. You got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay,
we put it off for 3 months.
Well,
you got 5 minutes.
Because here's the thing, and this has to do with Jill, right? Jill is playing the last few seasons. I don't know why they call them seasons, but I guess
sessions,
whatever. She was in a singles league where they're playing long format 0-1. They play sets. They play best of 3 sets, and then the sets are best of 5. They keep their stats and stuff. It's kind of cool. So they had 8 women, and then the top 4 would go to the playoffs with some other divisions that they have running around.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would do round robin and then knockout from there or something. So it's the play structure I always thought was, I think that's okay. I mean, I haven't played it. I mean, for a long time, it was like, they didn't want somebody like me playing. This year, I actually got invited, and by the time I got around to thinking, maybe I should play, it was too late.
Right.
So maybe I'll play next time. But they changed it this season where they had 8 women playing together. Now, then they took the 4 best, put them in one division, and then, put the other 4 in the other division and said the top 2 in each division are going to get through. And I'm like, what is that? Why, you're paying the same amount of money as everybody else. You should have an equal shot to get to the playoffs, but instead...
But don't you create your own division in this thing?
Apparently,
right?
Well...
I thought you created your own division.
I don't understand why you would have something like that where obviously the best players aren't making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is kind of like my deal. And I don't know how they do it in like...
I was just under the impression that whole league format was you get 6, like even for us, 6 guys, you get 6 guys to form a division, right?
I don't know. Is that what you do?
I thought so.
Okay.
So maybe those 4 women form their own division.
And then
but
you needed to have more.
It depends on Jill wasn't involved in forming that division, was she? She just got put.
She just sort of like goes along with whatever the email says.
Oh, okay.
But I'm kind of like, and I told her, I'm like, that's not fair. The structure isn't fair, unless they're going to do the 4 highest point per rounds go through.
Okay.
Right, or something like that, because, and everybody tries to be fair, but then they always err on the side of people
unfairness.
Yeah, they try to be fair, but what they do is they basically punish you when you're good, right? So here you are, you're being rewarded for not being as good as 4 people by being in a division with 4 people that aren't as good, and now you get to the playoffs with a much easier path than the other 4. So I'm kind of like, why would you want to play in that? I mean, it seems to me like that lower division, the way to do it would be more like what the British do with soccer, where, you relegate the bottom 4 for the next season.
But in the NFL, you get a much easier path if you stink the year before because you're supposedly getting an easier schedule. If you keep winning every year, you have the toughest schedule in the NFL to play.
You're supposedly getting
Right,
but it doesn't work out that way.
Well, sometimes it does.
Well, the strength of schedule thing is sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, it's supposed to.
How was Carolina? How was Carolina's schedule this year? How was New Orleans' schedule this year? The whole division stunk. Right. And yet one of them gets in the playoffs, and everybody's like, we need to change this. It's ridiculous that a team with a losing record is going in when Arizona's not. They got a winning record, and they've got, they're picking people up off a park bench to play quarterback. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I mean,
they say something like that every year, but they don't change it. But
it just seems to me, it seems to me when you start putting like,
are they trying to create parity?
You can't create parity in darts.
Well, not well.
It's like playing with handicaps. It's like, well, what are you really saying? You're basically saying I can't beat you, so tie one hand behind your back, and now we'll play, and now we'll see if you can beat me. Is absurd, right? So like you play like in a golf league where you're grouped in a division, right? But then you play straight up against the guys in your division, and you see where it falls, but you're not going in. Like the top guys in your division don't go into the championship against everyone else. I mean, you stay separate all the way.
The golf league is by handicap.
Yeah,
you're getting strokes.
Grouped. You're grouped. You're in a flight based on handicap. Yeah. But are you using handicaps? In your weekly matches, mm-hmm. You got to give this guy a shot, that guy a shot.
Right, and
never a fan, never a big fan of handicaps. I get it. I just, when I was a kid, I caddied, and I watched the way these guys cheated each other and did this and did that, and, I can't believe I'm giving this guy a shot. Guys playing with their wives, giving them, 18 aside, mm-hmm. and then if he loses, he can't go in the clubhouse for a week because he's going to get mocked by everybody. I mean, it's just, play. This whole notion of, measuring your own worth by like one match is like I just don't get it.
Obviously it's different in darts. I think the biggest reason for handicaps in golf is for a gambling purpose, because nobody in their right mind is going to put it, even if it's a quarter, put any money on a golf game when the guy's 15 strokes better than you. You know what I mean? But
well, yeah, I mean but very seldom in darts is the disparity that great.
Right.
I mean, if you look at Phil Taylor, I mean, Phil Taylor took out an 84 with 2 darts.
Right.
Well, I've done that too. I just haven't done it a million times.
You're not going to have.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to have MVG playing. Let's say
they do it in soft tip. They have the insane spots. You give the guy 7 marks and the throw and all this. It's like,
when I first moved up here, I played in a handicap league in soft tip. It was ridiculous.
Oh, why do you play this?
It was ridiculous.
You want to have fun, have fun. I just don't think that's fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to get your take on that, because there should be a way to structure it where it's fair to everybody. Mm-hmm. But everybody needs to get an equal shot to the playoffs, because that's where the money is. And it's like now you've set it up where you're basically making sure it's unequal. So if you want to segregate, lower ability players, fine. But then they don't get into the big show. They have they have a little show.
The only thing we'd have to find out though is, because this is the NAPTO, right, that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1 year I played in it, you formed your own league. So I don't know if those 4 women formed their own league, and then Jill just said, "Hey, I'd like to play," and they said, "Well, we have this league for you." It's possible.
Fundamentally unfair.
Well, it's possible. Well, I mean, their structure is form your own league. So if those 4 women who happen to be the best are also friends and decided they want to play against each other for this thing and decide which 2 get to move on, then that's their prerogative. In the format of this league, right? So we played,
but they don't have 6. You said the minimum was you needed 6 people.
Then
now they have
the men's league. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Maybe it's 4-2-6. I don't know.
But maybe they go into the same. People. They go into the same playoffs. I mean, I just don't. I don't see if you have 8 people, why you're not just playing in one division.
Right.
Well, that's what they did, and suddenly it's split 4 and 4, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And it's split 4 and 4, basically where the best 4 are here, and then the other 4 are here, and there's not really any. I don't think there's much argument about.
We had 6 people in our division, and I would think if you have 8 people total, then you would just say all 8 people go in, and then the top 4 move on.
Yeah,
that would be the easiest. I mean,
way to do it. I'm. You guys can email darttalk@gmail.com if you think that you have a good solution to this problem, because I just don't see why you get. I can't see any rational reason. Hey, let's all get our own little division, and then we're going to go in the playoffs and get absolutely killed. Right? You shouldn't be in the playoffs. Right? I mean, everybody needs to have kind of the same path to get to the playoffs. Is all I'm saying. So I don't know. I'd be like, oh, put me in the weak division.
Yeah, but I don't think you have a choice. That's my point.
Well, okay, then the whole thing is stupid.
And then I think so.
Well, then I don't like it at all.
Right. Well, these 4. That's why. But you got invited. Somebody needed an extra person for. They
needed
division,
a body. Yeah.
And they wanted.
There's a division of like good players.
Right.
Yeah.
So. It isn't the organization that is sitting there saying, like, okay, would you like to play and I'll put you in a division. It's somebody that has created a division says, we need another guy. Would you like to play in our division? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's the way they're set up. So, I mean, you're disagreeing with the setup, which makes sense.
No,
too.
I'm not disagreeing with the setup. I mean, I'm saying, fundamentally, when you have to earn your way into the playoffs, and it's not by like let's rig our own division and make sure the good players aren't in it, so we get to the playoffs. I don't see that as being at all right to be doing it that way. You know what I'm saying?
You're better off having everybody enter and.
Like, let's get
the organization.
Like, get me in a division with like 7 blind people who have no arms, and and
you'll automatically
and I'll make the playoffs. Yay! And so will half of them apparently. So all right, let's move on. We'll take a break. We'll come back. What are we doing next? We'll do Premier League next.
Premier League?
Yeah, we'll do Premier League next. But I do want those emails. darttalk@gmail.com if you've got a good way to structure a money league, because I will share it with everyone if it's a good idea. So we'll be back in a minute.
They in no way should be misrepresented, misinterpreted, or made to claim that the universe is against you, your family, your city, or the darting community at large.
Okay, back for the nice fade.
That was fantastic.
Wow. Whoops. Welcome back to the second quarter of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks. Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts.
That thing was bad from the get-go. I thought you hit the button.
I know.
You didn't hit the button.
I'm having a bad day. I've been like kind of frazzled all day. I've been doing all sorts of nutty things. Mississippi stud. All right, so okay, before we do the Premier League, they had the World Trophy.
All right, which is
well, it's the BDO thing that they just sort of it just popped up last year, I think it's more a matter of the BDO hired a new marketing company to help them market the BDO, and they said, well, let's have this tournament, and so they invited all the top players. But Jeff Smith got an invitation, Jimmy Widmer got an invitation, and Dave Cameron.
All right.
Who are like the two top-ranked BDO Canadians and the top-ranked American from, I don't know. I haven't looked at their rankings lately. Because it's hard, you got to scroll down through all these names to find an American. But so they played, and remember, I was saying like they really killed these guys on draws, right? Dave Cameron had to play Scott Mitchell, who had just won Lakeside.
Oh yeah, right.
Jeff Smith had to play
like the 4 seed or something.
Yeah,
right?
and then Jimmy Widmer had to play Martin Adams.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, they're not being, I don't know who cooked up this draw, but they're not being too kind to our boys, the North Americans anyway, right?
God, that was like 2 months ago.
Guess who knocked out Martin Adams? Congrats to Jimmy. He got behind, I guess, or actually he got ahead, and then Adams caught up. It went to a deciding leg. Adams, after 9 darts, Adams was on 86 and Wid was on 68. Adams missed the bull on 86, which, makes sense to me, right? 2 fat 18s leaves 50. And, Wid went, I assume he went trip 20 double 4.
Yeah, it said 2 darts, right?
Yeah, well, you could do James Wade, right?
Well, you're
trip 16 double 10. I don't think Wid would do that. And so he won the deciding leg. And it's like, wow, check that out, right? So you stay in England for, I don't know, another day or two, or I don't remember what the schedule was. he got shut out 7-0 in the next round.
He got slaughtered.
And I couldn't find the stats, but the guy who beat him ended up winning.
Right.
So I mean, it's at least,
he went through everybody else.
He went through not quite that. The score didn't look good.
Yeah. Right.
And, I don't know, it's weird. It's like we're not used to this kind of a tournament where, I mean, Darren's done it, at the World Championships where you win and then you got to kind of wait. I mean, to play one match a day and then be prepared to play the next match the next day. I mean, nobody's really used to that. I mean, they're used to playing a match, sitting around, playing a match, sitting around, playing, and then the next day is you're playing cricket instead of 501 or something, right? So, but good for Jimmy. I mean, to beat Martin Adams in a major event, is quite a feather in your cap. So we like Wolfie, but I was happy for Jim. And then Jeff Smith made the semi, and
which is good.
That's 2 semis in a row to the biggest BDO tournaments of the year. So his BDO rankings got to be through the roof. And actually, Dave Cameron was 1 break a throw lost by a break to
really?
6-3, depending on who goes first, is 1 break a throw.
Yeah,
same as tennis. So
right.
So Dave's been playing well. I can't say he's been that fortunate. He's had really tough first round draws, and sadly, there's got to be a winner and a loser. So congrats to all those guys who went over there and represented. I thought that was pretty cool. That Jimmy beat Martin Adams. I think.
I bet you Martin
Adams. And the last leg was something else. To throw an 11 darter.
Yeah, you were
in the
reading
deciding leg.
You were reading the review of it. It sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, I couldn't find a review of the other match, the 7-0 match. So I don't know. Maybe they did it in the morning before everybody woke up. I don't know. So anyway, good for Jimmy, good for Jeff, and good for Dave. The Premier League. I'm trying to think. There were a couple more draws that we did not pick, apparently. So what was the first match from last week? Let's run through these real quick.
You and I picked no draws this week, but there were a couple.
I picked no draw?
No.
Draw. Okay. What was the first match?
The first match was Hybricks against Chisnell.
Yeah, and I took Chizzy.
Yeah, and I took Hybricks 7-4 for Chisnell, but we were discussing this earlier, and it didn't really make much sense.
No, I think it's because the PDC website listed them both with identical averages of 107, which I just...
No, to the 100th.
It looks like a typo.
107.01. I mean, they're exact.
If you look at... I know Hybricks missed a 9-darter, and, it's not like he played badly, but if you look at all the ton 40s that Hybricks threw a lot of tons.
I can't imagine
40s.
that you average 107, but you're only 30. You missed 7 doubles. That would take your average down in a hurry.
Well, but if you look at Chizzy's, 10 tons, 5-ton 40s, 170, and 6-ton 80s, how does that equate to a 107? If you only threw 10 tons, you're throwing 97 all the time.
He only missed 5 doubles.
Yeah, Chizzy not missing 5 doubles. I mean, again, what was it? He had one more shot at a double than Hybrix. Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah.
So there you go.
I don't know, but yeah, it's really weird. But anyway, yeah, you lose.
I think there's a mistake in there.
According to the stats, he throws a 107.01 and loses 4-7.
Yeah, I just.
What?
Okay, if you anyway. Say so, I don't think those averages are correct. That's all. I mean, I'm not going to go. And so, so I got you on that one. You had Hybrix.
I had Hybrix. You had Chizzy. And then we both took Anderson over Wade, and we were both correct on that. 7-4 for Anderson over Wade.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of it. I mean, the numbers look pretty close there. Mm-hmm. Anderson missed a few more doubles, but I just don't see that Wade's got it against against MVG and against I don't know about Taylor because he beat him the last time. So I forget what tournament that was. I mean, and he played pretty good. I think. Oh God, that was last year. Yeah, I don't know. Wade's an enigma. Let's face it. He's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. Then we have our first draw, MVG and Adrian Lewis. Fight to a draw. MVG apparently throws 106 to a 98 for Lewis and also hits 67% of his doubles, but somehow managed to only tie.
Timing. Yeah, it's timing. We were talking about it before the show, and I'm like, look, I mean, every time you're trying to break a guy's throw, and the 13 darters aren't working. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
He was down 2-5, though.
Yeah.
So
he came through a 10 darter, and I mean, he's just Adrian Lewis is in the same position. I mean, it's like you're losing with 14 darters now.
Yeah,
you're not getting a whack at the double anymore. Mm-hmm. It's really, it's really fun to watch, but it's there's so little margin for error in these short little matches. So that was a draw.
Yeah, that was a draw. And then we both took RVB Van Barneveld, who beat Stephen Bunting 7-4, and Stephen Bunting was 4 out of 22 on his doubles. That's not going to get it done.
I don't think Raymond needs any extra help.
No.
But, for Bunting to average 91 and change, missing 18 doubles in how many legs? 11 legs?
11 legs.
I mean, it's not his scoring,
Right.
His scoring held up that time.
Well, he wins, he's one match away from, having a draw, or 2 matches away from having a draw, and,
can't hit the double.
If you could just hit a double.
Yeah. It's, it's week after week now, and I don't know, I'm going to watch him a little closer tomorrow and kind of see how he's holding up, because I'm not, it's kind of weird. I mean, he went from Lakeside, so that's what, 13 months, 15 months, 14 months since he won Lakeside. He's come a long way, and he might need, a break.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I mean?
Darts he's thrown in a year and a half.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's I don't physically. I mean, he's a young man. I think mentally, mentally going up there and struggling on your doubles is brutal. And if it's going to be like a weekly thing, I mean, maybe you can, sit down with Chizzy. Be like, hey, Chizzy, how'd you handle it? Because apparently, they were going in last week, but you have to finish if you want to win. Lots of people can score,
right?
And anybody can throw triples. The skill is in throwing doubles and in consistently finishing. Mm-hmm. Okay, what was next?
And the very last one is another
Stating
draw.
the obvious here.
Another draw is Phil Taylor and Peter Wright.
No, I don't. We both took Taylor on that one, I think. What did Wright average?
97 and change.
Okay, so he kind of brought it back a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been playing woeful, just woeful. How many more? Who had more shots at a double there?
Phil Taylor had 3 more, 6 out of 13 to 6 out of 10 for Peter Wright.
A couple of missed doubles, and Taylor's still averaging over 100.
Yeah, 103, and
I mean, pretty solid play. Okay. They ran out of time. That was one of my coaches used to say. He's like, you didn't lose, you ran out of time.
Okay.
Really? Because it was like 42-7 in the third quarter. So I mean, I don't know how much time we needed to win, but.
So yeah, out of all, you got 3 right. I got 2 right out of the 5.
Okay. Do we have cumulative for the season,
No.
or did we not get to that?
It's not written down.
All right.
We have not. Our intern has not come up with that information for us yet.
Well, I'm going to see him.
So
we're going to have a little word with.
It's on his list to do.
Sam, the intern.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's
busy, but
yeah, but he's not really.
He
how many people we interviewed for the intern job?
He needs to get us prepared for the show, and he's not really doing a very good job of that.
All right, what's coming up on the Premier League this week?
All right, so Thursday, March 5th, which would be tomorrow.
And where are they? Does it say?
It says West Point Arena in Exeter.
Exeter, isn't that like some famous finish or prep school? Exeter?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
We'll see in the
Well,
beginning.
it'd be interesting, like Eton or something. One of these, like Andover. One of these elite college prep places. I mean, the grades are different, I think, in England. But okay, so Exeter. All right. Who we got?
All right, so you got Van Barneveld against Hybrix.
Ray's just been churning along. Hybrix. I still think that was a typo, but he did almost throw another 9-darter.
Yeah, he missed a double 12.
You know what? I'll take Hybrix.
Really?
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
Why not? I'll take Hybrix. We'll see if he can. It looks like he's battling. It looks like, I give him credit for that.
See, that's what I thought last week, and it didn't work out for me, so I am going to take RVB this week.
Well, RVB's been a good pick.
I've jumped off the Hybrix bandwagon.
You're off Hybrix.
And,
I'm on, baby.
And you're now on.
I'm on.
So
give it to me.
We'll see what happens.
Give me some Kim. Give me some Kim. All right.
James Wade against Phil Taylor. Well, judging from what you just said about Wade, I can't imagine you thinking about taking him.
Well, the thing is, Taylor's been just sort of steadily just motoring along, throwing his, 100 average and stuff, but he did get I don't know. I can't figure out Wade. I'll just take Taylor just because I don't know what to make out of Wade. I just can't. It was like when I used to do football, it was always the Bengals. I could never figure out what that team was going to do. And I'd be invariably, guys would ask me about the Bengals games and then just bet the other way because they kind of knew I had no handle on it. That's kind of how I look at James Wade. I don't know what he's going to do. I'll take Taylor.
I, too, will take Taylor.
All right.
I'm still on the Taylor bandwagon. Adrian Lewis against
a big bandwagon.
Stephen Bunting. Yes, it is.
Adrian Lewis against Stephen Bunting. You can't take Bunting. You just can't. You just can't. The guy can't hit a double, and until he starts to, show you something, you can't. You can't go near him. He's toxic. So I'll take 80. He's toxic. 15% average. That'll win you. It'll win you stuff in at a lower level of competition because you'll come up again. You're on 92, you miss the double, and then you come back and you get 3 at 32. Okay. It's not, he's not in the BDO anymore.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
I'm going to take a draw. I'm going to play the draw.
Okay, I'm up 1 draw on you.
Yes,
that's actually not a bad. Yeah. That's not a bad one to take. That's probably clever.
Well, we'll find out. Then the next match would be Peter Wright versus Van Gerwen.
Van Gerwen heavy. I think he's really in Wright's head. Just the fact that Wright tried to get in his head, I just...
Peter Wright just played to a draw. I can't take him to beat Van Gerwen.
Not the way Van Gerwen's been playing. I mean, he got behind and, he's got that extra gear that I'm not sure... I don't think Peter Wright's got that gear.
Van Gerwen's a 1-3 favorite, by the way. So
1-3?
Yeah.
Chalk.
It's major chalk.
Yeah, I'll take Van Gerwen.
Yeah, me too. So then the very last match would be Dave Chisno against Gary Anderson.
I'll tell you. It's really tempting to go for Chizzy. I mean, how heavy are the odds for Anderson?
They're 8-11. So I mean, it's close to
8-11.
money.
It's close to even money.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. What's Chisholm's 5-2?
5-2.
2.5 to 1.
Yeah. But
I'll go draw. I'll go because I have no idea who's going to win. It could go either way. I mean, these matches are the PDC equivalent of a coin flip, I think, for some of these guys because 12 legs. I mean, it's not that many. Did I say? Is it 12 or 14? It's 12, right?
What matches?
No, it's 14.
14.
If you get that far.
I'll
take draw.
Yeah,
I'm giving you this. I'm giving you this one because the smart money's on Anderson.
I know that's what I'm leaning towards. But I'm going to take Chisholm because I don't have smart money.
You've got your money's dumb.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, it worked for me last night.
If the guy if the guy could finish. I mean, it could be a match. The Chizzy Anderson match could be one of these things where after 9 darts, they're both under 100, and it takes them 9 darts to get out.
So close. I'm going to go by that again too. I mean,
I don't know.
Chizzy can't hit a double.
Chizzy's popular. I think people can relate to him.
I'm sure that helps.
He. You see him struggle. Everybody's struggled. Everybody who plays knows what it feels like to these doubles aren't going in. Want to strangle someone. So I don't know. I think, and then Anderson, is Scottish. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. The Englishmen want to bet on the Englishmen instead of the Scots. I don't know. I can't see how Anderson isn't, favored by more, but recent form.
Right. Maybe.
Chizzy's in good form,
And we're due for a break.
Okay, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about, we'll talk about your improvement, and then we got to start the Virginia Beach. All right, listen to Dart Talk, Mr. Mark, Steve Poncelman. We'll be right back.
Dart Talk agrees to adhere to the Geneva Convention in treating fairly its prisoners in their war against lackluster darting administration and behaviour.
Okay, back for the third quarter of Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor also. Thanks, Sam the intern. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, everybody who helps with the show. Thank you for listening. And we're going to talk a little bit about league.
We're due for a break, so we'll be right back now.
We talked a little bit about league. I mean,
yes, we did.
All I'm going to say is it was, scary.
It's an interesting way of putting it.
Well, because I got there, nobody was there, and I was like, great, I can like kind of sort things out by myself here, and
it was scary because
I'm waiting to. Well, no.
Well,
I mean, no, I'm just talking about myself. I mean, it was just like I'm up there and I'm waiting to see if something hurts.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see it doesn't really feel right, but then this one did, and then that one did, but then this one didn't, and then that one did. So it was like really, and then one felt good, and I threw it in the one, and I'm like, that's in the one, and then I looked and I'm standing like way over, and I'm like, why am I standing over here? Where am I supposed to stand anyway? I mean, it was really like a half hour of like, how the heck are you supposed to do this? I mean, it was really.
Have I done this before?
It really felt like, what the heck is going on? And in the back of my mind, there's the fear of like kind of really cranking it and really letting it go because I don't want to, hurt anything.
Sure.
So it was a little bit of
paranoia. I kind of noticed that a little bit, like the doubles match we played. I noticed that you actually were, because you were struggling and you were really starting to fire it, and that wasn't helping you.
Yeah.
Because you weren't hitting, but you were really starting to just fire it into the board. And then by the time you got to your singles cricket match, they didn't seem to be going as hard into the board, but they were more fluid, and that's when you were starting playing
and
better.
you kind of loosening up.
But you started struggling in our doubles match early, and then I think you just said, well, this isn't working, so I'm just going to fire him into the board, and that didn't really work either.
Yeah, well, because I had no feel. And, I was like, and I'm letting go of the dart early because I'm not really kind of straightening my arm correctly. You know what I mean? I mean, you need to have enough arm speed to let everything release in a nice, easy manner. And I don't consider myself like a hard thrower, but I've been told I throw hard. So I think when I'm playing good and I have a nice clean release, that dart gets to the board relatively quickly. Like I don't lob them in there.
No, I would think, I don't think you're a hard thrower. I mean, we've seen hard throwers. And
there are a couple of guys that really try to
put the dart
break the board.
Put the flight all the way into the back of the board.
I don't. Looks tiring.
Your darts are just solid. They just fly in there solid, so people think, because you don't really have an arc to them.
But they bury.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the point in, almost all the way to the barrel.
But like you said, it's more of a follow through thing.
It was rough. When things don't feel right, and you're a field player. But I must say, because you've been on the show like, I suck. I did this. I did that. I thought you played well. I thought you played well from start to finish. You had a tough singles match at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. You had to hit some doubles there under pressure.
That was the best part about it, I think, is actually, even though I won the week before, it was like I kind of got a reprieve during those legs that I got 6-9 darts at the double to hit.
Yeah.
This was a competitive match that was really, even though I did throw a 3, and
that was a bad time for it
the third leg.
Yeah, you let him back
to
in.
let my opponent back into it, but he threw. He still had a bad round here and there, but there were still trip 20s going, tons, 85s, stuff like that. And then when it came down to it, it was like you only had.
You had one round to finish.
And that was it. And he took it in the first leg, and I managed to do it the next 2 legs. And the whole competitive the actual, how do you put it? Just not the competitiveness, but the game itself, or the being able to work through it finally, as opposed to before just getting multiple chances and winning a leg, as opposed to being able to throw well and succeed was
yeah, I think I know where you're going with that.
I mean?
Well, yeah, it was a satisfying match to win, but even if you wouldn't have won, I think you'd have still been satisfied with hey, I actually played.
I agree with that.
I mean, I was competitive. I was banging the board, and I was on him the whole time. Right, he never got I was never out of sight.
Right,
It's okay, miss a double. Well, okay. Well, I didn't really get outplayed or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and those matches are fun. When you're both playing and you're both hitting about the same thing. You go ton, I go ton. You go ton, I go ton.
First leg, I think I was at 94 and he was at 92, and I missed the double for 94 out, and he took out a 92. What are you going to do?
For one, you go for the bull on 94. I forgot.
Yeah, what did I do? I went for the 18.
Yeah, you went for the 18,
right.
and I was like, oh,
right, that's true.
You know.
We didn't talk about that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we're playing, and it's like I know you know this stuff, but then you kind of forget about it, and then when you're playing, you kind of just go back to whatever you're comfortable with,
right.
and it's like, all right, go for the triple, but you get and he did the same thing, right? He went for the 20, but he doesn't know, he doesn't realize it's easier to do it the other way, but he tripped the 20, so what are you going to do? Okay, fine. You know, so it was a good match to watch. It was entertaining. You guys were both hitting stuff, so that was good.
Yeah, and then I mean,
you played good in the doubles. I mean, I was struggling, and you really kind of kept us in there.
Yeah, I just couldn't hit the big round.
Hoping I could show up.
I couldn't hit the big round. I needed to hit that 6-7 darter, and I would hit the triple on my second dart, and I couldn't follow it up, and then you never showed up, and then.
Yeah, it was.
But
if
I could have hit just like one big round, because we were still close.
Well, yeah, I mean, it came down to
killing us.
Yeah, well, it came down to my inability to hit a bull.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm talking about missing by 2 inches
on all
right?
three,
and that's just that's very uncharacteristic.
Oh, yeah.
And just shows. And I'm like, wow, I'm really rusty.
No, and after we lost that match, I saw you. We shook hands, and you picked up your darts, and you went up there, and you drilled 3 single bullseyes.
I know. I was just like, because I'm telling myself, I'm like, all right, there's no way that you're going to miss a bull like that. But what it is it's just like, I'm not confident enough in my setup to be like, okay, everything's fine, just throw it. But I got to that point later. I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. It's just like, okay, now I just have to worry about executing. Well, you kind of said that
to me in our doubles match. You said, I know what I'm doing now, but it's too late, because we were already...
Yeah, we're getting buried. I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, but it's too late.
I'm really sorry that we're, 8 numbers behind and 3,000 points or whatever it was. It felt like that much anyway. Anyway, it was interesting.
Well, yes,
so kudos to you, though.
I would say that this was my
marching on
best effort so far.
It's tough when it's tough when you play on a new team and you don't know everybody, and sometimes you feel like everybody's watching and judging and all this stuff, and I think it can affect your game some. I think, but you seem to have no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest problem so far is just, and that's why I enjoyed the singles match, is getting over that nervous hump, the competing hump. If you have a bad round, get over it. Keep moving on. Quit thinking about I'm not feeling well. It's not working. But if you hit a 5 and a 1, hit the triple 20. Same thing, and just keep moving. Pardon me. Keep moving forward, and I think that's what I did in that singles match. I kept moving forward, and I accepted the challenge, as opposed to going, crap, I'm not playing well or whatever. And just it's getting that competitive juices flowing of being in a great match and trying to.
And staying in
and fight it out and see if you can win it.
Yeah, staying in the match and not getting too up or down, whether you hit this or hit that, but just staying in it and staying focused all the way until the last doubles in the board kind of thing.
And I think that's been my progression is getting back into that mindset, getting out of it doesn't matter whether I'm throwing well or not. Do you have a chance to win? What do you need to do next?
Yeah.
And I think that's by, like you say, board time and playing competitive matches instead of just practicing. It takes a while to get back into that when you've been out of it for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so, and you got a lot more competition now than you did with the other team. I mean, you can whatever, you still have a chance to win. So it's just too bad we don't have more quality players here.
Right.
Like it used to be.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough about that. Let's do the Virginia Beach cricket. We'll do the women. Let's start with the women.
Let's start with the women,
and then we'll take a break and we'll do the men, because there's like 32
men. And this
men.
Tournament is this coming weekend, correct?
No, it's
not next weekend.
It's next weekend.
Indiana's this weekend, right?
Yeah, Indiana's this weekend, and Indianapolis is this weekend. And everybody's asking me on, and I kind of was thinking I could sneak down for a day and maybe play one
Sunday.
Day. No, I'm not going to do it.
I was talking about joining you, but I can't do it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Now I'm just going to get ready for Virginia Beach, and then I don't know if I can find somebody to play some legs with, I will, but I'm not going to worry about it. I think I'm to the point now where I don't really need to. I used to think I had to practice with somebody. Now I'm not really so sure. I think now I just need to just get myself dialed in and then show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to get some legs in, but at this point, I'm I've played lots of legs.
Yeah.
You know, at some point it's like, get your game together, dude. And the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little more time between rounds. When you play by yourself, you tend to like just go to the line, go to the line, go to the line, go to the line. And I think that's kind of what brought on this the forearm strain. So I'm going to kind of like,
you almost have to like throw 3 darts, take a step back, and count
and wait,
and let somebody throw 3 darts, even though they're not there.
I mean, I kind of want to get like a sweep second hand and just be like, okay, I'm going to wait 18 seconds or so, whatever it is. You know what I mean? 20 seconds, and then force myself to wait. And I think I'll be fine.
Right.
Okay, so the ladies seeding for the Pro Cricket Shoot at the Virginia Beach Dart Classic, which is a week from Friday.
Yeah.
And so the qualifiers are a week from Thursday. And this is the beauty of this event. If you want to get in, show up on Thursday and qualify. There you go. And they're going to take 6 there's 4 qualifiers. They take the top 4 from each qualifier to fill out the field to 32. So here are the seeds. Well, you read off the women, I'll read off the men.
Okay, the ladies' seedings. Now, this is Gwendy Fuertes?
Fuertes, I believe. Yeah.
So we're going from 16 to 1. Gwendy Fuertes, Sandy Haas, Renee Ripple, Gloria Gutierrez, Kay Hoover, Marilyn Pop, Holly Young for to 10. And your 9 through 1 is Betty Cunningham, Lisa Ayers, Sandy Hudson, Brenda Rausch, Marlise Keel, Trish Gressick, Paula Murphy, Robin Curry, and Callie West is your number 1
Whisper
seed.
Twins. Yeah, we can't really call them that anymore. They never did like it.
No. Why can't we call them that? We can do whatever we want.
Well, you know, once I got to know them a little better, they're
not very whispery.
How about CNC?
CNC?
Callie and Curry. They need a nickname.
Right.
We gotta, and they don't like Whisper Twins. Well, how about CNC? Does that work for you? Canadian club?
I'll have to think about that.
Little irony?
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so, Callie, Robin, Paula, it's the same people all the time. So what, you want to take...
So
this is actually a tremendous field. Yeah. Oh, what? Write our picks down. You want to take 3, and I'll take 3. You can pick first. Because there's going to be 16 other women that are in it, but we don't know who they're going to be yet.
Right.
And I'm trying to think who might show up that isn't already listed. Like Pam Briggs will probably show up. She's in Virginia Beach every year.
I'll take Robin Curry.
You take Robin. I'm going to take my first pick. What were we taking, 3?
Yeah.
My first pick is going to be Marlise Keel. I think she's in good form. I haven't seen her actually in a while. We kind of stopped going to the same tournaments, but Marlise is a cricket playing. She's good. I like her. I like the way she plays cricket. Yeah, well, she's not a fool, but you know what I mean. Besides, that's what I always call Cheney, cricket playing fool. So we can't, she's from Cleveland. It doesn't work. You can say that to a Southerner, but it doesn't work for a Northerner. But yeah, I'll take Marlise.
All right, I'll take Paula Murphy.
Boy, you're just going all over that chalk.
Well, you're giving me the opportunity.
I'm giving you the opportunity. I think I'll take Trish.
See, I was debating.
Yeah, I'll take Trish.
I was flipping a coin between Paula and Trish.
Yeah, well, Trish, because Trish and Marlise both play a lot of electronic darts that involves a lot of cricket. I would think that they're in good cricket form. The people that have to split, like the steel players, like kind of have to be 50-50. But I think the electronic players play way, way more cricket.
Okay, all right.
So I think that gives them an advantage. So I'll take Trish.
I'm going to take Marilyn Pop.
Oh, it'll be good to see Marilyn. I haven't seen her in a while. Speaking of Joe
Callie
Cheney,
West is still out there.
Callie West is still out there?
Yeah.
I was going to take Sandy Haas, but now I'll take Callie. I will take the number 1 seed.
Right. Well, I took the 2 and the 3, so I couldn't take the 1 as well.
So I got 1, 4, and 5.
Right.
And
you're
you got 2,
you're
3.
telling me I got chalk.
You got 2,
and I'm
3,
Mr.
and 11.
Chalk here.
Well, because I was looking at Sandy Haas at 15 until you said Callie West was open. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Because Sandy's been playing really good. She played good in Huntsville. So she's in good form. Okay, so there's your ladies seeded seedings for the pro cricket shoot at Virginia Beach.
Correct.
We'll come back and we'll do the men. This will be a quick break. You're listening to Dart Talk Mystery Mark Stephen on Salmon. We will be right back.
You are now and forevermore warned that you consume this show at your own risk, and that Dart Talk cannot be brought to justice in any court or by any government, including and not restricted to the grand spaghetti monster of the Triple 20.
Okay, back for the fourth quarter at Dart Talk, brought to you by the Dirt Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDirtZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Answers his email and everything. Also, thanks everybody for tuning in. Real quick, I want to do a shout out.
Okay, let's hear it.
I played a youth adult event in Portland, Maine, 5 years ago, I want to say, and I got hooked up with someone who I think eventually became like the youth champion, Miles Gallagher. I just got a little thing from him that he's graduating from air traffic control school. He went in the Navy.
Okay.
He's going to be a Navy air traffic controller in like 15 days or something. So congrats to him. I'm laughing because, FAA air traffic controllers look down on military controllers. Because I did not know that. It's the same way English majors look down on history majors. It's just how it is. But congrats, Miles, and everyone's proud of you, and you're doing good work there. So I was kind of happy to hear that. He was a hell of a player too, fearless. Really liked his game. Okay, so we're going to do the men. These are the seeds for the men's cricket championship at Virginia Beach. And again, I take no responsibility for the seeding. Absolutely none, and I don't quite know how it's calculated. So there are some people that are seeded lower than they should be, and at least one person who's seeded way higher than he should be. But here we go. 32 is Shaggy, Michael Hardy. 31 is Stowe Bunce. 30, Eric Gregory. 29th is Conley Litton. 28th is Tom Curtin. Tim Adams is 27th. Timmy Nichols, 26. Brian Blake's 25. Ooh, I missed Pat.
Patrick Hewitt.
Okay. Patrick Hewitt is 25th. Brian Blake is 24th. Jason Brandon is 23rd. Jason Barlow is 22nd. Ram Guevara is 21st. And Bill Davis is 20th. What do you think of that so far?
It's already a tough field.
Yeah, the bottom 12 is awfully good, right? All right, so 20th was Bill Davis. 19th, Big Dave Switzer. 18th, DJ Sayer, who is not ignorant about women.
What?
I'll leave it at never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Please continue.
27th is
27th. You mean 17th?
17th. I'm sorry. Is it Boom Boom? Joe Huffman? Is he Boom Boom?
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Joe hits a lot of triples. 16th. I haven't seen this guy. Ryan Barnett is 16th. It'll be good to see him. 15th is Gordon Dixon. 14th is Robbie Phillips. 13th is Danny Baggish. 12th is Ralph McCool. And 11th is Dave Richardson. Dave Richardson's the Canadian who won the PDC Spectacular last year.
Okay.
And got to go to the World Championships. And just, oh, by the way, they do have a date for the PDC Spectacular. It's toward the end of August again in London, Ontario, for anybody that wants to play it. I'll post more information on it, later. It's still only March, but just kind of keep that one in mind for you guys that are interested in playing. I cannot believe I am seated 10th.
Seated 10th.
I am. Yeah. I'm just, I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. 9th, Andre Carmen. 8th, Joe Cheney. 7th, Gary Mawson. 6th, Bob Seneve. 5th, Jimmy Widmer. 4th, Tom Sawyer. 3rd, Soldier Gates. 2nd, Larry Butler. And number 1 seed, Big Daddy Darren Young.
Tough field.
Pick 4.
Ooh, pick 4.
And anybody who picks me is like, you talk about having dumb money. We're gonna try though. I'll prepare as best we can. We'll see what we can make something happen. I think the best I ever did in this was top 4. I think I lost to Seneve the first year they had it in top 4. A lot of names to choose from.
Yeah, I guess I'll take Soldier.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, why don't we do this? Take what's 32? Take one of the. Take one from the top 8, and then one from the second 8, one from the third 8, one from the fourth 8.
Oh,
do it that way. So you want Soldier out of the top
Soldier.
8. I'll take Darren. No, you know what? I won't take Darren. I will take. Jeez. Yeah, I'm flipping a coin in my head between Seneve and Cheney. I'll take Seneve. I'll take Bob Seneve.
I almost took Seneve.
I'll take Bob Seneve. All right, so now you got to go between 9 and 16. You got to pick one person.
I'll take Robbie Phillips.
Okay, I will take just because he played so great in Huntsville. I'll take Ralph. I'll take Ralph McCool.
Oh,
12 seed.
Right,
yeah.
Sure.
And actually, to be honest with you, you couldn't go wrong with a lot of these guys, especially Robbie and Danny and if you
Dave.
took Ralph, I was going to take Danny Baggish. Danny's been playing.
Right.
He played really well in Huntsville too. Okay, so now 17 to 23.
23.
Right.
Yeah.
17 to 23.
17 to 24, actually. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. 17 to 24.
All right.
This is a toss-up for me, but because I kind of want to take Ram Guevara, but I'm going to take my Joe hits a lot of triples.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and I was like, well, if he I don't know why you get first pick, but
because you're nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I would have taken him, but I will take Brian Blake.
Oh,
he played really well there last year, and he's really comfortable playing in Virginia Beach, and it's not that long of a commute for him, and it'll be nice to see these guys. I haven't seen a lot of these guys in a long time. Okay, so now one more.
Let's see. I guess I'll take Conley Litton.
Okay. I really thought this is tough because Timmy Nickel's been playing good. Tim Adams just won an event in Florida over the weekend, so they're both in good form.
I almost took Stowe Bunce, but I went with Conley instead.
They're all good players. You know what? I'll take Tim Adams. I'll take Tim Adams. We'll take the sniper. Do we call him that?
You just did.
Did we give him a nickname? Wasn't he? No, because we called him Sweeper or something because he swept all the events. It turned out he didn't.
Right.
We got that all wrong. Awesome. Okay, so just to recap now, who do you got?
In the men's, we're keeping the men's. I got Soldier Gates, Robbie Phillips, Joe Huffman, and Conley Litton. You have Bob Seneve, Ralph McCool, Brian Blake, and Tim Adams.
It'll be interesting. And then there's going to be another 32 people. I don't know. We'll see who shows up. If Dave Cameron shows up, he'll qualify. Right? I think Jeff Smith said he wasn't coming because it is a BDO-ranked event. Anybody chasing BDO points is bound to come. So I don't see Alex Reyes' name there, and he won the singles last year. So maybe he's not coming. It'll be interesting. I don't see Williston's name on there. It'll be fun. The guys that, I look to like for cricket. I always think of Wollaston as a great cricket player, even though he's a great 0-1 player too. So, well, we'll see who shows up. It'll be fun. All right, so that does that. And then just a reminder, we will not be having a show next week because we'll be traveling. We were going to try to do it on Tuesday, but you can't make it. And
I have a board meeting.
I don't want to fly solo. I can't imagine doing this show by myself. I can't imagine. I know I did it once, and I remember not liking it. And then something.
I know I couldn't do the show by
myself.
myself.
The internet connection got lost. There's something. I'm not even sure I even taped it, but I think somewhere. And and one last thing. We got an email from somebody who said he was having a problem that the shows weren't loading quick.
Yeah.
And then you tried it on iTunes. It was fine. I tried it on Stitcher. It was fine. TuneIn.com's been having issues, and I get emails from them saying, oh, this didn't get uploaded on time and all this stuff. And it's all TuneIn.com on their end, but Stitcher.com works great because he wanted to listen to old shows, and I just got on the iPhone and went and they're all there. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are trying to find old shows and stuff, if you have a problem, go ahead and email the show because I do answer my email. And we'll try to sort it out. And then, hopefully I'll be able to update the website when I get back from Virginia Beach. It needs some attention. It needs a few hours of TLC.
A little lonely.
Anyway, so you're going to be good. You're going to regress while I'm gone. You're going to at least
regress
play.
To what?
Well, I mean, you're improving.
Sure.
You've been improving every week. Don't let it stop.
Right.
Play some money games with those guys.
Which guys?
The guys that show up at Will's.
Oh, on Mondays?
Play them like $1 a set.
Oh.
Just play for something that makes you, a little extra for the effort.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, thanks everybody for listening. We're out. Peace out. Safe travels, everybody.
Change your clocks.
Really?
Yep. Saturday night.
We're changing clocks Saturday? Good thing you told me. All right.
Yeah. You and everybody else. Don't forget to change your clocks.
And safe travels. And we'll see everybody in Virginia Beach. If not, we'll see you around the campfire somewhere. Everybody take care. Thanks for listening.